Well, good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure to have you all here. And Dr. Roden, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. It sounds like you may have been talking to my mom. Thank you so much for that. I'm pleased to be here as an honorary co-chair for this World Habitat Day event. On behalf of President Obama, I would like to welcome you to the United States and to our nation's capital. It's my pleasure to join you this morning to celebrate the accomplishments of this year's Scroll of Honor winners and to share with you President Obama's robust vision for our urban and metropolitan future, both at home and abroad. Dr. Roden and the Rockefeller Foundation's commitment to leading today's global festivities in the United States is the first time our nation has had the honor of hosting World Habitat Day, and makes clear that we all have an important role to play in creating a more inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous set of communities around the world. And when I say all of us, I really mean all of us: public, nonprofit, and private sectors, as well as the philanthropic and academic communities. And that's why it's so encouraging to see all of you here today. Our World Habitat Day Honorary Committee understands that in order to tackle the challenges facing our metropolitan areas, we must work in common purpose to plan our urban future. So thank you to the Honorary Committee for the investments you've made to make this year's celebrations a success around the globe. In particular, I have to thank Mrs. Anna Tybulchuk and UN Habitat for bringing us here together today, and for making us and pushing us to take hold of our collective responsibility for the future of our cities and the future of our world. You know, while on the campaign trail, the President articulated a new vision for America's metropolitan centers, and now from the White House, we're taking steps to bring that vision to life. The President first selected a nationally known and highly recognized and respected leader to head his Department of Housing and Urban Development. Secretary Donovan is the right man for our challenging times. The President also created a new White House Office of Urban Affairs to ensure that all of our federal dollars targeted urban areas are spent effectively on the highest impact programs. Having recently moved from one major metropolitan area to another, from Chicago, Illinois to Washington, D.C., President Obama is attuned to the needs and the challenges facing our growing cities, surrounding suburbs, and rural areas, here in America and around the world. In fact, building a future of opportunity in every community across America and around the world is a major focus of the President's agenda. But before I delve into any of the details, I want to share a message from the President of the United States himself. Ladies and gentlemen, President Barack Obama.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. I want to thank everyone who's commemorating World Habitat Day across the country and around the world. And I want to thank Secretary Donovan and Dr. Tybulchuk of the United Nations for making this day possible. Every year, World Habitat Day gives us the opportunity to raise awareness and offer ideas about how we can make our planet a better place for ourselves and our children. This year's commemoration comes at a moment of challenge for America and the world. As we find ourselves in the midst of a global recession, millions of families in our nation and all nations have lost their homes or fear that they'll lose their homes sometime in the future. World Habitat Day is a chance for us to help make sure that doesn't happen, to build a future where all our families can find a place to call home, where all our families can find a thriving community to call their own. My administration is committed to doing its part to meet this goal by bolstering our metropolitan areas, the cities, suburban, and rural areas that are the engines of our economic growth. We're investing in a clean energy sector that will generate new green jobs, building affordable, energy-efficient homes, and promoting more sustainable development so that we can meet the needs of the present while securing the future for our children and grandchildren. I believe we can do this, but we can't do it alone. That's why we're committed to working with the United Nations and our partners around the world to help more families find a safe and secure place to live, from Nairobi to Delhi to Washington, D.C. That's how we'll advance opportunity and prosperity, not only in the United States, but around the globe. In the end, this moment is one not only of great challenge, but great opportunity. we have an opportunity to lift up the lives of people in all countries. That's a goal we must work to meet on World Habitat Day. That's a goal we must work to meet every day. And that's a goal we can and will meet together. Thanks.
Well, you heard it. President Obama is committed to rebuilding our nation's communities on a firm foundation. That requires addressing our economic challenges and implementing new strategies for sustainable and inclusive growth. To prevent further erosion of our economy, the President encouraged Congress to pass and signed into law the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. That bill provided needed assistance to cities and states, kept police, firemen, and teachers at work, and is stimulating the economy. The President also ensured that millions and millions of Americans can stay in or buy new homes. He has put in place a wonderful team of leaders, innovators who are dedicated to rebuilding our communities and advancing economic opportunity in our urban and metropolitan areas. In addition to Secretary Donovan, the President's team includes Department of Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood and Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Lisa Jackson. We are grateful for their leadership and partnership as we turn President Obama's vision into a reality. All of us understand that our cities need a federal government that knows the old ways simply will not do. That's why the President directed my office, the Domestic Policy Council, along with the White House Office of Urban Affairs and the National Economic Council, as well as the Office of Management and Budget, to do the first comprehensive interagency review in 30 years to analyze and improve the federal government's approach to funding urban and metropolitan areas. We must be more strategic in our approach to revitalizing cities and suburbs. A new metropolitan strategy requires that we learn more about what's happening around the country. We're traveling across America to see what's working and what's not, to bring the best local ideas and innovations to the national stage. In Kansas City, local leaders are transforming low-income communities into a national model of sustainability. In Dubuque, Iowans are renovating a historic district with a strategic eye on the mixed-income housing, transportation, and jobs that the community needs in order to thrive. In Denver, the city is working with local organizations to preserve the affordability of neighborhoods that are served by the expansion of new light rail, commuter rail, and bus lines. Our habitats are much more than just the brick and mortar of houses. When we envision the future of our communities, we aim to build them safer, healthier, more economically robust, and prosperous. By forging unprecedented partnerships across the federal government, we're able to put our focus not just on programs and policies, but most importantly, on people and places. Our work is also integrated across sectors. We think it's critical to not only connect federal agencies and partner with state and local communities and governments, but also to engage in public-private partnerships so that we can pool our collective resources and maximize impact. This administration knows how important it is to work with those on the ground, those who can best define what they need and how to get things done. Without question, the federal government has important responsibilities and a role to play, but we also know the best solutions are often local in origin. Finally, we're relying on evidence-based strategies. We want to support and scale the programs that really work and eliminate those that are redundant or ineffective. We're off to a good start, but unlocking all of the potential in our metropolitan areas requires that we work more strategically in Washington, form smart partnerships locally, and engage with our global partners as well. We are committed to working with our international partners, those here today and those at the World Urban Forum in Rio next March. By sharing our experiences, both our successes and our failures, we can improve our local and global habitat. We are more than just the sum of our parts. We are interconnected and interdependent, and I hope that today's international conversation will expand our knowledge, renew our sense of purpose, and give us the tools that we need to address the challenges that come with rapid urbanization of our planet. Again, on behalf of President Obama, let me thank you for joining us for World Habitat Day, and thank you for working in common purpose with us as we realize a smart, bold vision for our urban and metropolitan centers. Thank you so much.